rate. Eat healthy foods. Reduce your fast foods. Your body needs help against toxins. Give it antioxidants. Advocate, educate, collaborate. Fight, stand up for what's right. Move forward.
As DJ.
Boom, boom, boom. This is Jared and I'm back. Hey man, I'm so amped. I'm so excited to come live tonight. We've got a special broadcast of Warriors Quest 2.0. And man, you're in for a treat. All right, man, this is going to be lots of fun, but I want to hear some noise, okay? I want to hear some noise, okay? Put in comments, all right? This has got to be so productive, and to have this be productive, okay, we need some comments. All right, let's get this interactive. Let's get this going on, get it lit like a firecracker, and let's move this forward in such a positive direction. All right, because we've got so much going on. All right, every minute, okay, every minute of the day, there's something, all right, that we get a notification about, and there's a new change. And what are we talking about? 24/7. It's COVID-19. It's all over the news. It's all over. It's a pandemic, and we're going to be touching on that tonight. Okay, and to do that, all right, and to talk about, all right, transplants and COVID-19 or not, I need a kidney transplant's our topic. All right. To talk about that, I'm bringing on a special co-host. All right, someone who's been in the kidney disease community for over 30 years. Somebody who's at the forefront with his partner Tamika with the Urban Health Outreach Media Network. Okay, somebody who's basically someone I admire, his strength, his toughness. I'm bringing on Steve Belcher. Come on over, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, Jared?
Oh, man, I'm so excited to talk about this topic. All right,
yeah,
COVID-19. All right, it just has exploded, okay, with media, and it's all over. All right, and because, all right, we're immersed with kidney disease. All right, we want to help everybody that's related to kidney disease. So whether it's a caretaker or transplanted recipient or someone who's on dialysis, we want to help all of them. Okay, we want to touch on this tonight. All right, coronavirus or not, COVID-19 or not. All right, I still need a kidney transplant. That's our topic, and so we're going to talk about that tonight. And okay, and we wanted to bring on Tony Johnson, okay, someone I'm advocating for. He may come on board a little bit later. He's having some difficulties. Once he comes on, if he does come on, we're going to bring him on. But let's get started, okay? Let's get this going. I don't have a guitar, but let's rock and roll, buddy.
Oh, absolutely, man. I'm trying to load the show on my phone, and I'm having trouble. It says couldn't play video. Something went wrong.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Steve, do your thing. Lisa Baxter wants you to do your thing.
Yeah. Can you see us, Lisa?
Thanks for watching, Lisa. Hey, what up, Lisa? Hopefully you're here to give us the 411.
Absolutely.
Oh, hello, Angela.
Yeah, Angela's on the YouTube page.
Yep, Angela's watching our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching us, Angela.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. So, look, what is your feelings? We were going to talk to Tony about what he's been doing since his last appearance on the show, which was in February,
Right.
and he's looking for a transplant. Now we know as of now that they had placed transplants on hold, and we wanted to get his perspective on that.
Right.
And if
Absolutely.
it's anyone who's watching that's on the transplant list, if you want to chime in, please do so and let us know your feelings of if you think they should put kidney transplants on hold
Yeah,
during this pandemic. What are your
exactly,
thoughts,
Steve.
Jared?
Yeah, absolutely. See, this is what I want. Like I said at the beginning, okay, when I started out the show, okay, I want to hear some noise, okay? Please. Not only would I like to see some more comments about this topic because everybody should chime in and I want to hear your feelings. I want to see your comments and I'd like to know what you think. Okay, and also I'm even opening it up. I hope you're okay with this, Steve. But if anybody wants to join us tonight, we'd be happy to send you an invite and come live with us right now on this broadcast. If you'd like to say what you want to say live as well, we'll send you the invite. Come
Oh,
on
absolutely.
over.
Absolutely. I mean, that's all we need is your participation. I'm watching this with Angie. I'm watching this with you on YouTube.
Very
So
nice.
yeah.
So so I advocate, I manage 10 plus Facebook pages with my twin brother. He and I are we're promoting, the cause and the search for a living kidney donor for many people. And and you asked me just last week, are you still going to, are you going to keep on promoting? Are you going to keep on doing this? And and I made the decision with my brother, we're going to do it, because through God's grace, okay, it does so many things. It gives people hope, number one, which is exactly why we do this, to give people encouragement and hope. And number two, okay, if people see, if somebody does feel like they want to donate, then it does get postponed. They're not scheduling surgeries right now, so it, in all likelihood will get postponed. But nonetheless, if that person is interested, then at least we've got somebody who's in testing. And I'm looking at the glass half full instead of half empty. And the
Mhm.
optimist in me, and the person who is asking God to, and I'm praying that this virus is that we have something and that this is not long term. Okay, that person who's trying to look at a good future and envisioning this, I'm thinking if we have somebody who's applying and who's in testing, that's better than nobody in testing.
Right.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I guess is having problems. I don't think he's going to join us. I'm texting him in real time right now.
All right.
So if anybody watching this broadcast, if you like to jump in,
we'll send you the invite.
uh, link, and you could come right in. That's what. Yeah, Jared. This is my thing, though. What if you do find somebody and they get tired of waiting?
Yeah,
Just move on.
right, and that can happen. In fact, the likelihood.
So
Okay,
how do you engage?
It's a great question. It's a very good question.
In the process during this pandemic. How if, like, say if somebody had a donor that was in the pipeline and everything got shut down,
mm-hmm.
engaged in the process, even though the process is at standstill.
Right.
And so that's what
I understand.
And that's what what was his
what's his take? Yeah. What Right. I totally
What
understand
his
where you're going with
process?
that.
Hey, guys, would you like to come on, Audrey, and talk about this as well?
Yeah, we'll send you an invite, Audrey, if you'd like to come
Yeah,
on.
Jared. And um, now since since you advocate, there's increase. Uh,
yeah. So
Jared?
yeah, I'm losing you a little bit. It's a little choppy. I'm losing you just a little bit. So, you had some good questions. You asked, well, what happens if someone's in testing and because of what's going on, they feel nervous or they feel scared that what will happen, and then they back out. Okay, and that can happen. In fact, the likelihood is greater that if they're in testing right now, that they may actually back out and they won't continue the testing. Um, I haven't got the stats on it. I'm just thinking in my mind, okay, that's probably the chances are greater because the wait time is longer, and whenever you have somebody waiting longer, it gives them a more time to think about it, especially with what's going on. Your anxiety and your fears are intensified, and so that certainly is okay. Nope, in my jammies, I didn't even read that for a second. So that certainly is something that is on my mind, and that may happen. And keeping people engaged, that I'd hope that we're I hope that we're exciting enough with our videos. I'm hoping that we're exciting enough with my posters, my flyers, that they'd still be engaged. But if not, then I can reach out to them if they feel comfortable enough, where I can maybe connect with them, give them my phone number, give them my email address, and try to build some sort of I don't know, a little bit of a bond, because obviously the kidney warrior can't do that. Someone else, I can do that, but they can't.
Well, let me ask you this: have you and your brother seen an increase or a decrease in people responding to your posters advocating for kidney warriors?
Oh, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride. There are some days where it spikes up, and then sometimes it goes down. The cool thing is that, well, everybody's home, virtually everybody, and because virtually everybody is at home, so to speak, a lot of people are online, and because more people are online, they're paying attention a little bit more when they get a notification and they see it. And so, and some of our pages are still very active, and they're getting a lot of views, and we're reaching still a good amount of people. Now, I can't say that we're still getting people that are applying. That's not happening. That's gone down. But we're still getting, our pages are still active, and we're still getting a good amount of people viewing and everything.
So let me ask you: have anyone that you're advocating for, have they come to you or your brother and say, what do we do now because of the uncertainty of the future?
I've just had more people, the majority of the people that that we do promote have come to us and said, hey, listen, this is what is happening right now. And at first it was devastating. And it was very difficult. It was very discouraging. But the more we've kind of, talked about it with them, and the more we've discussed it with them, they have a greater understanding that right now they would be in harm's way. They would be at risk after the surgery because of their immune system being weaker. And then, that they don't want to catch the virus, and they don't want to have the donor catch the virus in a hospital like that as well. So it is devastating. It's discouraging. And especially for somebody who has somebody already in testing, okay, which we've had many of them, many people already in testing, and it's been it's come to a screeching halt. It is discouraging. Okay. It is. And we've had to kind of build them up, and we've had to talk about them, and, but, it's sending out at least a poster, a video. It keeps the hope alive. And that's why we decided to keep on, keep on keeping on, because, regardless whether a transplant surgery does get scheduled or not, by putting out something and keeping the Facebook page alive, it keeps hope alive. And that's what I like. The doctors are telling the donors, due to the virus risk, they may want to wait. Yeah. And we're dealing with that. Even
Hey, Willie, you would like to come on?
Yeah, you want to come on, Willie? We'll give you the invite. We'll send you a link, Willie, if you want to come on.
And what your thoughts are on this? Anybody who wants to come on and share their thoughts, live broadcast, we're offering that opportunity right now. We can send you the link, and all you have to do is click on. You don't have to download anything. Just click on. This is a topic that we think that needs to be discussed. We know we want to keep people safe doing this, but Jared, let me tell you something, man. I would be lying if I said I wasn't having some anxiety. I do have my faith in the Lord, and leaning on Psalms 23:4. And I saw a post of a young lady. I think her name is Terry. And she need a lung transplant. And man, it was just seeing her story on Facebook, and hearing her share how the last several days has been really hard to breathe, and that the doctor's telling her that maybe she may have about maybe 2 to 3 more months of this. It just makes it all too real. And she's waiting on lung transplant, and she's in the hospital fighting for life, already at a disadvantage of unable to breathe as we all are. So this is real, man. And it's just sad that this has happened at a time where we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and it almost looked like that we're at almost a third world country trying to react to this event, running out of supplies. They're talking about the stock is being depleted.
Yeah,
the national stock
shortage of ventilators.
Yes, man. I mean, it almost. I don't like to dwell and talk about this subject, but it reminds me of a movie that when I was young, looking at the future of almost like a apocalyptic type beginning.
Right.
I heard on the radio today here that a truck bringing in weapons or guns to a gun store was robbed. Right? People took that. People holding up the truckers, bringing in toilet paper and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh! Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
And so I don't want to hear news like that, because I mean, we got Willie Black.
We got Willie. That's awesome.
And he can give us some perspective on dealing with this from a spiritual perspective.
Yeah,
he's a minister.
Yeah. All right, we're bringing on Willie Blackwell, Elder Willie Blackwell. Now, everybody, I just wanted to repeat the topic. Okay, so today's topic, is see, COVID-19 or not, or coronavirus or not, I still need a kidney transplant. Okay, and what your thoughts are. Okay, we want to hear your opinion on whether a transplant should still happen during this time, and what your thoughts are, if you think it's prudent. Why is that they're not going through with it? We want this to be a candid sort of interaction. Let's make it loud. Okay. I want to hear some noise, some comments, but I'm bringing on Elder Willie Blackwell.
Hey, Elder Blackwell, how you doing?
How y'all doing up there, man? How's it going?
Willie.
Pretty good. Thank you for
hey, it's great to see you, brother.
No problem.
Yeah,
no problem.
Thank you.
You guys looking well.
Thank you. So are you. So are you.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I was listening to you. I had this conversation with my wife, I guess about a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of my colleagues at work, and I was telling them, they said, man, look, with all this stuff going on, are you still able to get kidney donors? I said, well, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I'm chatting with people, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from a lot of people, and basically what it is, they really want to help me, and I got people going through the process. But when they look at CNN and they look at MSCPN and they see these people dying in the street, and they see, the bus driver that you probably saw him yesterday, who was indicating that, he was a bus driver, and they was on the bus and she was coughing, and then 2 days later he died.
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. Wow.
And so when you see all this happening, you see the spirit of fear.
Yeah,
it's just out there, and
it spreads. Yeah.
And then from talking to my doctor and other doctors, they're looking at this an individual case, a case by case situation. It's and they're telling the donors that going into the hospital, like if you got to have a kidney transplant or a liver transplant, or even some neighbor down the street, they deal with chemotherapy. They may have to postpone it right now because they don't want you to get infected in the hospital because of the germs. And so you say, well, golly, I've been sitting here it's been almost 2 years for me. Well, not quite 2 years, but a year and a half. And all this stuff is going on. But you understand, this is something that's never happened in the history of our country.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
And you just have to realize that. And then I'm a man of faith, and I believe in God. And I said, God, hey, look, I need a kidney. What I've been doing my part as far as eating right, taking care of myself, doing the things that I need to do. And I'm still going to do that, exercising. And so I'm not going to let the spirit of fear get me. There are a lot of people out there who actually have been trying to help me. Some of them now, they've been helping me because they just had health conditions or they just didn't work out. There are some people just didn't help because they just ran away. They said, look, we're going to wait for a minute. And you got to respect that. I said, that's not a problem,
Yeah.
And so
you have to respect that. You do.
Yeah. But I've had that happen already, because like I said, people just came and told me, so we just like to wait, because what happens is, that donor, they go through this detailed testing, and when they go through all those procedures, they're asked, you don't have to do this, because all what's happening with this virus thing, because there is a chance that you get an infection while you're in the hospital.
Right.
Now, Willie, have you heard, or do you know if are they will they be testing after this is over? Do you think they'll be testing donors and recipients for the coronavirus, or you think this coronavirus is going to make future transplant a game changer in people getting donated? Because also I would wonder if somebody was in the process of going through testing when all this happened, whenever this subsides or gets back to where they could continue to process, do they got to go back and start from ground, from the beginning because of this coronavirus, or do they move forward from where they at or wherever they stopped at?
My doctors are telling me basically they're going to probably start back from the beginning.
From the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something unprecedented. We never had anything like this.
I know.
Yeah.
As sad as it sounds, it is what it is, but it's better be safe than sorry. Because I know when I went to the, I told you guys I got listed up at the Jacksonville clinic. They was telling me, well, Willie, I had a form I had to complete, and they said, look, we may get you a kidney. Now this kidney may have a little, this person may have had a little problem, infection or something, but it'll still be all right. You give you a shot for that, you'll be okay. But with this new virus here, man, they just don't know.
It is unprecedented,
Yeah.
You're right. I'm looking at a website earlier today. In the last, say, 100 years, the only other virus that that has caused such an alarm was HIV/AIDS, but it doesn't get transmitted like this does. It's a different virus. This virus, okay, back in 2014, 2016, we had the Ebola, right? 11.3 thousand people died. That's a good amount of people. And then in 2012, okay, 850 people died of the MERS, which is the Middle Eastern, respiratory. I can't remember how it's Middle Eastern respiratory something is what it stands for. And then we have the SARS, which is where coronavirus started, if I'm not mistaken. That started back in 2002, 2003. And that had 770 people that died. Okay, so we're looking at, this is in the last little while, okay, that's what's happened with viruses in my lifetime. Now, if we go back further, okay, we've got the cholera outbreak back in 1817 to 1923, but that was spread out from 1817 to 1923, and that was 1 million people. But that's spread out again in a long period of time. And then, we had the swine flu in 2009, 2010, 200,000 people died. And that was, in my lifetime. So we've not had in my lifetime, okay, anything that has resembled anything like this. I mean, we've already had since April 3rd, okay, today, 58.7 thousand people have died from the coronavirus. And that's obviously not going to stop right now. Right now, that's ongoing, and there's nothing right now that there's not a vaccine currently that's been proven to, that's being given out, or that's a sure thing right now. And so this is very scary, and it is very alarming, and it's something that that I think has really caused a lot of fear, as you put, Elder Blackwell. And I think that spreads almost faster than this virus, the fear. And I think
it's kind of like we spoke about on the show we did last week. What I do the first thing in the morning is I get up and I say my prayers, and I ask God to protect me and my family, and of course the job that I work at, and the people, and particularly the people who are on the front end, the doctors and the nurses and the ETMs and the grocery store people and the truck drivers and everything, because I know this thing is going to pass, and I just have to be patient. And I said, God, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to do my part. And I think that's what the kidney warders got to do. They just got to continually do their part, take care of themselves, first of all.
Absolutely.
Where you take care of yourself, you got to be physically fit, and you got to be mentally fit, and then once you take care of yourself and do the things you're supposed to do, stay in shape, and keep it, and then keep doing. If you're advertising on Facebook or if you're advertising any other social media, whatever you're doing, keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to get that kidney.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get
Yeah.
that kidney.
Right.
Now, I just want to ask one question. Just want to take a quick shift, Elder Blackwell. What a lot of people probably don't know that's watching, you're ex-NFL football player. And with that being said, what are you hearing on future broadcast or games, since it's just been a complete stoppage of all sporting events? Are you hearing any inside information on like the draft and like spring training? I mean, all that. Are you hearing anything when that may rev back up, or is it ever going to get back to that again?
Oh yeah, those folks, they looking at having a draft. I think is at April the 14th, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be all virtual. It's going to be like in the old days when they did the draft. They just called it by phone.
You just got the call.
You know, in the NFL, as you know, they're putting a lot. I think they gave like 32 million already to the.
Oh yeah.
To the thing, and a lot of the individual players.
A lot of the players have stepped up, right?
A lot of the players have stepped up.
Drew Brees did. Yeah.
Drew Brees. Yep. And so there's a lot of stuff that they figuring this thing gonna be over with, at least a couple months, and this business as usual for them. But they do have some contingency plans in place, but they're going about the thing of business. But the thing about it is kind of like the kidney wars. They're still doing their business behind the scene, but they're just doing what the CDC says. They're washing their hands. They got 6 feet from each other. They're doing it virtual. That's why they're doing it that way. And kidney wars got to do the same thing like the NFL is doing. They're handling their business, and we got to handle our business.
Right.
Yeah.
And let me ask you one more question. I know Jared want to ask you something. If you were still playing, how would it feel to play in the stadium without the crowd?
That's a good question.
What would would that be eerie? Like you playing and you don't hear the screaming of the fans, or even with basketball. I mean, you being a sports athlete, I mean, would that take away something from the game or from the motivation of putting in that grit?
Absolutely. There's nothing rewarding coming through that tunnel hearing the fans, man.
Yeah.
The roar of the fans. I just a part of the game. Those fans coming out. That definitely would take things away for them. Then the music and the excitement, the enthusiasm, all the above, and it would take away.
I hear you. I mean, I can only imagine how the adrenaline starts to, kind of roll in, as a player if you're doing that. I mean, I can't imagine Ray Lewis doing his dance, without a crowd.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow. So where do we go from here, Elder Blackwell?
Hey, just keep doing what you're doing. Like I said before, that's what I do. Like I mentioned earlier, I get up and I say my prayers. I read the book of Psalms. I get up and do my walks. I'm watching what I'm eating. I have a little time now because I'm away from Carmack for the next 14 days because they said that through my pre-existing condition, that I'm more successful to getting infected. So they asked me to go home and with pay. So I mean, that's what a lot of companies.
Yeah.
So I use this time to try to do some things, that I need to do around the house, and constantly I have time set away where I'm actually on the Facebook talking to people, telling them about my situation, what I need, and how they can help me. One lady was talking to me today. She said, I'm not O positive. I said, ma'am, that's not a problem. I said, I tell you what, if you really want to help me, we have what we call a kidney exchange program. And what you want to do is, contact my contact person, since you're in Georgia, Leon Whitehead, and I gave her the number.
Okay.
And fill out the information and go through that. And somebody else get a kidney, then you'll put me on the list to get a kidney. It may happen 3 or 4 months down the road, but I'll get one. So we can start the process today.
Right.
And I had a conversation with her today. She said, okay. Just
keep
doing
positive.
what you're doing.
Yeah, that's positive.
Just stay positive, because it's, I mean, if you listen to, and I was talking to mention Jared, I mentioned to you on the last program, you can't look at CNN 24/7. Now, CNN is on 24/7. They're giving updates, and it's good. You want to get an update on what's going on. You want to keep informed, but you don't want to get to the point where it depresses you. Because there are a lot of people out there, and we already know
you're exactly right.
2 weeks will be critical, because we're going to lose a lot of lives, especially in New York, and I think Louisiana is a hot spot, and up in Detroit.
It is. Right.
And so we are going to lose some people's lives, so you got to stay positive.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that not only positive, but what I wanted to touch on is CNN. You can definitely get kind of discouraged, and that could be a negative thing, a negative influence. But there's also other negative influences online, okay? And that people, what I mean by that is I've seen posts that say, okay, like memes show photos of like pastors and ministers, and then it shows a scientist that's trying to help people, and basically indicating that scientists are doing more than what God is doing, and making basically insinuations and implications that where are you now and why aren't you helping us? Okay, right. Okay, don't let any of those things get you down, people. Okay,
that's right.
Don't get into any sort of, don't get caught up in that. Okay, because God is listening. God does love us, and God will continue to be by our side. I guarantee, I confirm to you that God is all powerful, omnipotent, and will not forsake you. So please do not get caught up in that only the scientists can help us, because God can help you.
Hey, Jared, so let me ask you, what would you suggest to individuals who, on Facebook or social media, and, constantly their feed is uploading with coronavirus propaganda or information? How would you suggest getting past that if you're constantly seeing it on social media?
I don't, it depends upon how well I know them, but if I do know them, I'll ask them to kneel down and pray.
Well, no, I mean, would you tell them to scroll past it, or just hide these type of posts on their timeline that they see scrolling?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I would just encourage anybody who's scrolling through their feed on Facebook. Okay, I'm not saying don't look at the COVID-19 coronavirus information, because I don't want you to be naive or to not be informed, well educated. But I would encourage you, don't spend all day doing it. Don't do that, because it's going to spread into the fear, like Elder Blackwell was saying. Okay, it's going to be, okay, our brains are just geared that way naturally, where we feed off negative energy much more easily than we do positive energy. It takes more effort from our brains and from us to focus on positive things than negative. It's just how we're made. Okay, the natural man, okay, makes mistakes, and we feed off negative energy so much more easily. So please, we do. So please, okay, if you haven't prayed before, if you've never knelt down and prayed, even if you don't feel comfortable kneeling, okay, stand, sit, okay, whether in your car or wherever you're sitting on your couch, start praying. Even if you don't have a relationship with God, Okay, start one. Ask, hey, are you there? Or do you exist? Because this is the time to have to pray. Okay, I've had 2 earthquakes happen just recently. Okay, I had one in Utah, and then I felt a trembling because there was a 6.5 earthquake in Idaho just recently. Okay, what's
Elder
quaking
Blackwell.
and shaking, people?
Right, Elder Blackwell.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you. So Jared, was just talking about, I was asking the question about the, bombardment of information, and it's like, don't stop, keep informed. But let me ask you, with so much information coming out, how do one figure out which one is trustworthy and which one is not, with so much COVID-19 information coming out? Like, how do you just decipher through the information to figure out which is true and which is not true?
That's a good question. What I've been doing, and I've been telling people, my associates or my friends, and on my Facebook page, is that, when you see President Trump talks and the doctors with him, and then you see ABC and NBC, MSNBC, I've been using those sites. If I see something says TPZZ and I don't understand what that is, I don't fool with that site.
Right, I wouldn't either. Yeah.
So I'm going with the reputable sites that I see that tells the stuff that's on. If ABC, you'll see NBC, and I go with what the Surgeon General is saying and what the CDC official was saying, and go with that and be done with it. Because there's a lot of stuff out there. That's why I've been doing a lot of stuff out on the internet that just, I don't know where these people are coming from. The people coming up with all kind of cures and things. There's no cure for it right now. They're working on some stuff, but there's no cure. But you can probably find 20 sites that tell you to drink vinegar and water and and this and that.
Right. Yeah.
All kinds of stuff out there.
You shared with me something though last, not too long ago when you were on Warriors Quest with me, Willie, is that, okay, you shared with me a scripture, James. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so I encourage anybody who has a question about anything. That's a great scripture because it encourages us. It does encourage us in James. Okay, if we read that scripture, that if we ever have a question about anything, that we can go to God and He will help us find the answer.
Oh, what scripture is that?
Which one was it? James 23. Which one was it? I gave you about 10 or 15 of them.
Yeah, I know you did. Okay, so what I'm talking about is James, where it says, if you lack wisdom, ask of God. Can't remember verbatim, but that's kind of how it goes. Is if you lack wisdom, ask of God, and He will give it unto you. And I'm forgetting how it ends, but
yeah, I had about 20 of them. I wrote them all down. And
you're fine, I can find it.
The book of James is good. I tell you, the book of Psalms is good, but you just got to have faith, man. You got to have faith, Steve.
Right.
You do it. I mentioned to you. I mentioned on Warriors Quest how you didn't know that I had a tumor on my pancreas.
Right.
And I thought I was going to die. I was going to die from that.
Right.
Wow.
That's very inspiring.
Yeah, I had to go.
And she felt inspired to get it checked. You said, no, you're not even waste time. You wanted to get it checked right away, right?
Right. But so I guess this thing is real. What makes it simple for me is that when people think of God, they think about this distant person. This person 30 miles away, 1,000,000 miles away. God's right there with you.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And the prayer is very simple. You just get up in the morning, say, "Well, God, I saw this guy Willie Blackwell on the Urban Warriors Quest, and he was talking about this. I don't know you like that. I'm James Wilson. I'm afraid. I see people dying all around me. I don't know what to do. So can you help me? Can you come into my life? And can you guide me? Can you show me? I can open this Bible and I can read the Psalms. I can read this. Would you do this like you did with Billy Blackfield?
Yeah.
Just make it real simple. I mean, it's nothing deep. And if you don't know God, you don't know him for the first time, just say, well, God, come into my life and show me the way. You know?
Amen, brother.
I tell you, I've had, I told you on a Warriors course when I was driving my car with my wife and kids, and we're going down the road, and the Spirit of God told me to move that car over. And I moved that car when a big old diesel truck came out, it would have killed us all.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to me.
Yeah.
I didn't make that up.
That's inspiration.
That came out the sky. It actually happened. I've had incidents where I'm in a meeting, sitting in a meeting, trying to make a major decision with the company, where they talking about stuff, and the Holy Spirit will say, "Don't say anything," or the Holy Spirit will say, "I'm not interested." God will speak to you just like that.
Yes.
Right.
I found the scripture, Willie. It's if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Okay.
So that's the one you shared before, and I firmly believe that's true. Is if we lack wisdom, which means if we have a question, if we're wondering, what to believe or what we should do, if we're scared, okay, if we ever lack wisdom, we can always ask God, and he'll give it unto us. Okay, liberally. What does that mean, liberally? Well, liberally means he'll give it unto us easily, okay, because he loves us. He loves us.
Now, Elder Blackwell, before all this kind of hit the fan, did you have anyone in the pipeline being tested?
Yes, I did, baby. He said so. If anybody could be in the dumps, I should be in the dumps, because I had folks I had them in the pipeline like you ain't seen. I was like, whoa, what is going on here? I did.
Yes.
And I still have some people. Yeah, I did. And I said, Lord, have mercy. What is going on here?
Now, do you stay in touch with these people, like to keep them abreast of what's going on, and to kind of keep them engaged?
Yeah, and then the ones, like I said earlier, they text me back and said, they said I'm not a match because I have this, I'm diabetic, or I'm overweight, or they got some kind of health condition.
Wow, or at least they came out and tested.
Yep, they did test it. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. They did. No problem.
Wow.
It looks like Lisa Baxter's sharing some Psalms too.
Yes. But just like I said, that encourages me when you got people, willing to help you like that, and they go through that, and like I told this one lady, she said, "Well, I saw your wife on TV, and I just feel like God told me to help you." I said, "Wait a minute, how you want to help me?" She said, "Well, what is it you want? Why you want to help me?" She said, "I don't know. God told me I need to try to help you." So we found out she was a nurse. She's a white female, very nice lady. Come to find out, what happened was she didn't realize she had some kind of medical condition, and she couldn't help me, but it helped save her life.
Wow.
So God's in control of this thing, man.
God knows.
Elder Blackwell, let me ask you, you're not on dialysis yet, right?
No, I'm not. No.
So has the thought crossed your mind that that could happen in the midst of this pandemic? Do you ever think about that?
Many times. I think that's one my wife said, probably CBN probably want to do a story on me. I guess they had talked about it because they want to know, I'm at 15% kidney function, and people at 15% kidney function should be on dialysis. But my numbers is good. When I go to the doctor, I'm not depressed, I'm not overweight. And I attribute that because when I had my left kidney removed in 99, I went on a very regimented diet. I quit eating red meat. I quit eating pork. I had a lot of fruits and vegetables. So I had about a 10 or 15 year start on my health. And also with my faith in God and my health, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not on the machine right now. I know it is. Because every time I see Dr. Katz, my neurologist, he says, man, I've been doing this for 30 years and I don't see people like you. I said, look at
Awesome.
you. You're
Wow.
in good shape. You say you're supposed to be on the machine. You're not on the machine.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That is.
But I know I need a kidney though. Know
Right. Yes. Still need a kidney, but you know, God hasn't left your side, and He continues to bless you, and that's very encouraging.
But that has focused my mind. You know, I'm thinking what I told Dr. Katz, well, I'm just gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna have to be rushed to the emergency room or something. He said, no, it ain't gonna happen like that. I said, because but I see the doctor every 2 months, so you know I have to see him every 2 months. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have they put a permanent access in you yet?
Nope.
Interesting.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
So your level of enough where they haven't felt like they need to go that direction as preparation.
Not right now.
So Jared, has any other people that you're advocating for asked you to pull back from advocating?
No, not any of them. No, in fact, I've had people come to me and ask me if I would advocate for them. I've had people still, you know, and I've had to politely say that my plate's pretty full, and that I can't bring on, take on more people. But that doesn't mean, on a daily basis is what I mean. So that doesn't mean that I still have people that I can schedule for Warriors Quest. I've got somebody scheduled for next week, and I've got someone for the following week. So I've got the next 2 weeks scheduled, but I still would like to have more people on Warriors Quest. So, I'm still helping people on a weekly basis on Warriors Quest. So please, if you'd like to come on board and be on Warriors Quest, hit me up.
Sure.
No. Wow. So, Elder Blackwell, how are your family pretty much being careful? I know you have a son and a daughter.
Yeah, I have one daughter and one son and 2 daughters, 4 grandkids.
Oh, okay. So, at this time, are they staying away from you?
Yeah, I'm keeping them away right now. Yeah.
How long has it been since you've seen your grandkids? I mean, in person.
Probably the last 15 days, 14 days.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that the longest? Has that ever been the longest that you haven't seen them?
That's the longest I ever seen them. You're right.
Wow.
Right. What about FaceTime? Do you see them like this?
That's what I told my wife. I said, I'm gonna get off this Android phone and get me an iPhone.
Yeah, I think you could do Skype. I mean, you download Skype and do it.
Yeah, we can do Skype too.
Google Hangouts. My wife does Google Hangouts with her schoolwork going to the Weber State University. So that we're really having to rethink everything we do right now, haven't we?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's on the plan.
Yeah.
So, Jared, where do we go from here?
Okay.
I think we just continue to move forward, and just every day do something positive. Spread positivity. Try to do something that gives hope, something that gives encouragement. And as much as possible, just try to make sure that we do that, especially within this community. Okay. We've got to make sure that we keep all of these kidney warriors up, okay? Because there's going to be a day where if they go to dialysis and they're going to be nervous. There's going to be a day where they leave dialysis and go home. They're going to be nervous. There's going to be several days like this, and that's what's on my mind, and I think about that. I pray for them. Okay. And I feel like it's part of my responsibility, okay, in this community to keep their spirits up. It's I feel like it's my responsibility to let them know that God loves them. Okay. And that I just want to continue to be some sort of ray of hope for them.
Jared, you look like you got one of those collars on. Like my collars on. You look good, baby.
My bad. I got a Black Panther t-shirt on.
Oh, okay.
I know he was going about it. Wow.
I didn't even see that. So you said that.
Baby.
Yeah.
I said, Jared enjoy me, but he got a collar on. All right,
that's
man.
right.
Right.
No problem.
All right, guys. Well, Willie, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you.
All right, y'all be safe out there. God bless you all.
God bless you as well.
You too, Willie. Thank you.
Family. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So we got Candy. Has another comment here. I don't think I've read, but she said I left a message for my surgeon because I'm teaching an online class to scrub nurses in Tennessee, and I wanted to talk to him about the lecture, and he had been doing a couple of transplants every day. So that's good to hear. So very good to hear. Thanks for saying that. I like to hear something that's encouraging, something that's good, and at least there's something being done, and that's good. And one of the things I also want to talk about is what I've done is I've collaborated with kidney warrior Audrey Bella Langston. And next Wednesday on Warriors Quest, Audrey and I will be collaborating. She'll be my lovely co-host on Warriors Quest, and we'll be interviewing a special guest. Okay, we'll be interviewing a police officer who's a current police officer who basically is living and breathing what's going on right now. And so I'm very excited.
In the midst of dealing with kidney disease?
Well, he's not a kidney warrior. No, he does not have kidney disease himself, but he's somebody who knows what's going on and is a sergeant and is connected to police officers. And so it'll be interesting to get his perspective, his view on what's happening on the streets and what's on in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Oh, that should be interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Audrey is going to be a great co-host. I'm excited to collaborate with her. She's always so positive, upbeat. I'm excited to do that with her. And it'll be good to get a perspective that we may not have already heard, from a police officer. So I'm excited to do that. And then the following week, okay, on the 18th, or no, the 8th would be the 7th, the 15th. I'm going to have Jeremy Paracco back on. And so Jeremy Paracco, okay, has been on Warriors Quest before, and I'll have him on again. And he's going to give his perspective on what's happening.
He's in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, right. And, Jeremy's a great guy who's very outspoken, and he's forthcoming, and he's going to say how it is. And he's got a lot to say about what's going on in dialysis centers, in his dialysis center right now, what he thinks isn't right and how he's being treated, how people are being treated, what kind of PPE they're using, stuff like that.
Wow.
So, so a couple of really good, a couple of good interviews in the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited about those two things. And so I encourage any of you who would like to be on Warriors Quest, or for that matter, Warriors Quest 2.0 on another day, and you'd like to be on a live broadcast and get your story told, or maybe just get your voice heard and you want to give your opinion about what's going on, message me or Steve, because that's what we want to do. Is we want you to get loud. Okay, we want you to speak up. All right, we want to make sure that in the kidney disease community that we come together, and the only way to do that is to hear you. Okay, And there's so much, it's so powerful when you have a live broadcast, because you see the facial expressions, okay, and you feel like you get connected because you see how real they are, and that's what happens, okay, is you feel their pain. You know, when you talk, you know what I mean, when I talk how passionate I am about advocating, or how passionate I am about my faith, okay, you see that in my face, and you see how passionate I am. And then you Willie Blackwell, and man, I feel his passion, and it's great. So I want to hear, okay, that sort of enthusiasm from somebody. I want to feel that excitement from somebody else. So please message me if you want to be on a live broadcast. We want to hear you.
And like that, you remember what they used to say? This is live, not Memorex. You remember that?
That's right. Yeah, I do remember
that.
Live,
not Memorex.
That's
not
right.
on Memorex. I don't know how many people remember that. That's for the old school people.
That's right.
Who remember that. This live, not Memorex.
Yeah, I remember that, brother.
Yeah, man. This was a great show, great topic. You know, Jared, a month ago, I would have never thought we'd be sitting here talking about a topic like this on should people who need transplants be transplanted during the pandemic. I mean, I can see, you know, I've been thinking we would be just talking, having a regular show on something that deals with transplant, but I would have never in my wildest dream that we would be talking about keeping our faith.
Oh my gosh.
Taking it one day at a time, staying safe, wearing masks.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's staggering, okay? And I don't want to, and I know that we talked about staying, you know, not staying away from the negativity. And I don't want to go, I don't want to be negative, but when you hear things like our president, okay, talking about how it's going to be a rough couple of weeks, and that his projections are that we may see 100 to 200,000 deaths. Okay, that's alarming. It's very alarming. Okay, and it's hard to even fathom. It's hard to even fathom, and to think all this would happen in this short amount of time. Okay, in just 3 weeks ago, you know, it's so much has happened, and I began this broadcast saying it's like nearly every second there's a new notification and something else has happened, or something else in a different city has happened. That that there's you know, there's a nurse or doctor there, you know, there's something else happening. There's so much news going on, and something new and exciting, or something different is going on. We're getting so many updates, so many notifications, and so much is going on about this. Okay, please, okay, this is especially important that we keep all of the kidney warriors safe. Okay, everybody who hasn't taken this seriously before, okay, take it seriously now. Because, you know, I've seen reports of even young people that are fighting for their lives are in hospitals. So even if you're young, okay, and you get a fever and you have symptoms, you may be seriously sick, and you're going to be in harm's way. Okay, this is not going to discriminate. Okay, and stay home, because we have plenty of kidney warriors, all right, whose immune systems are weak, and then the transplanted ones have a weak immune system. So please, all of these people that we love, all these people in this community, all right, they are more susceptible and they're more at risk. And we need people to start taking this very seriously. Stay home, okay? Stay safe, stay home. All right. I know Easter's coming up. All right. Easter is by far one of my favorite holidays because of my faith. And I will be celebrating, okay, that he is risen. And I will be celebrating that, but I won't be celebrating it with a bunch of family at my house. Okay, so please don't get together with a bunch of family. If you do, just do it online. Okay, we need to be safe. We need to make sure that we curb the numbers or whatever they say. We need to make sure that we're doing things right.
But also, if you got kids, look, go in the yard and do an Easter egg hunt in the yard.
Oh my
God. I mean, especially if you live out in the country and you ain't around anybody. I mean, you got a lot of options if you got a lot of acres of land and you're not around nobody. Unfortunately, some of us not privy to have that. But yeah, I mean, you know, just got to make the best out of this. You know, you got to make, how they say, lemonades out of lemons.
Yeah, lemon. Yeah, make a lemonade out of lemons. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly right. We just need to have, you know, just pull everything that we've got and just make it the best that we can make it. You know, put a smile on our faces and spread encouragement, hope. Okay, and let everybody know that we can pull together and we're stronger together. We are. We're going to be much stronger together. All right, united. All right. I can't do it alone. Okay. I need you all.
Absolutely. So,
wow, look at Candy here. Let's read this comment. I taught nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare. My PTSD is in overtime. Wow. Wow. I hope that you can keep that and keep yourself, you know, keep your anxiety down and try to do everything you can to keep that to a minimum. God bless you, Candy. You know,
absolutely, Candy. Thanks for your support and watching and all your information.
Yeah. You know, speaking of which, and I know we probably near the end, or we've gone over that, but you know, there are some things that maybe we can give some tips about. Maybe we've done it before in the past already, but maybe meditation, yoga. What are some great ways to have some of these people kind of bring their anxieties down? What are some great, you know,
reading, exercise. You can do that in your yard, jumping rope, maybe watching Netflix, maybe a puzzle.
Right, puzzles are great. That's a great idea.
Right, go to the store, maybe get some games. If you have a big family or something, you know, playing cards. That's if you got somebody to play with. Well, it's solitaire. Someone may, you know, someone may have Xbox. Got games on Xbox to play. The Wii system. You remember that?
Yeah, the Wii. Yeah, you can. As are my prayers. That's nice. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, my twin brother's in Abu Dhabi in the UAE, and so I'm gonna, you know, I try to connect with him as best I can. And he had his wife had come back from El Paso, Texas, because she went there to pick up their daughter who's going to college. And
he said, made it in the nick of time.
Right. And when they did that, he was asked from his work, kind of like Willie, that he had to be self-quarantined for 2 weeks. And so he just ended his 2 weeks and he just had to go back to work. But, you know, and so he says it's a little bit different, but he says if there's any day to go back to work, it was yesterday, because which was, well, he's always a day ahead. But it's like the end of the week for him. So, but anyway, so yeah, getting connected with family, you know, especially if they live far away. You know, I saw this video, Steve, online of this grandma, okay, that was just outside in her front yard, and all of her kids were driving by in their cars, and because they couldn't get close to her because she's a senior and elderly woman, they were driving by and then waving and just saying hi to her. You know, so I've seen inspiring stories like that, and I saw this other.
It's just a shame that we got to that within a month. In a month, we got into that.
In just a month, yeah. But we could be creative. I've seen another poster. Okay, I saw this photo of this man that was visiting his father. Okay, but he was outside where they showed like the window, and his father was on the inside of an assisted living home. Okay, and they showed the son. They showed him on the other side of the window outside in a lawn chair. You've seen that, yeah. And they're just talking on a cell phone. So they're just creative ways. But reach out to widows, widowers. Reach out to seniors and just people that are may not be getting visited. Make sure that you can connect with them in some way so they're not lonely. Because man, I've got some people that I live nearby, and I'm not going to go get near them necessarily, like, and make them scared. But my wife and my son actually sent out letters. They sent out letters and sent letters to people. So there are just different and creative ways to try to make sure that you're at least have some sort of connection with maybe some of these people.
Absolutely. No, I just got a good idea that Candy just said something. She said, "Thank you guys for this program. I needed it today. You guys are like an AA meeting for kidney warriors." No, and that just gave me an idea of maybe a group where people could come on, maybe like a Zoom group, and share maybe what they're going through, just like a NA or AA meeting,
right.
And it can mean it's not a public forum, but people who may want to come in and participate and talk in the form of how they feel, and just to talk, be able to talk to somebody, and that's, I want to create something. I'm telling you, that's what the Spirit is telling me to do, because we can have up to 6 people, but I'm not sure with the Zoom, but in this case it's 6. So I mean, you would need maybe one person as a facilitator, maybe, and then have 5 warriors come on, or anything, but not in public, but in a closed group, or something where people can share, talk, say what's on their mind, and just get it out, and basically, like talking to someone, like how I'm talking to you. I mean, this is stimulating to see you.
It is.
And talk to you. And if we can give warriors that opportunity, if they would want to be in a group, be in a group, where we can have this, and they're in the group looking, and we send them the invite. They come on, and we talk, and they share whatever, and then bring the next person on, or 2, and have a round, like a round group discussion, like they do at the meetings.
Yeah, I like that.
Because
I think that's a good idea.
I mean, I stay with my parents, but I stay in the basement, and it could be sometimes a little depressing, even though the basement is fixed up, but still being down there and self-quarantine, and I got things to do, but I want to interact with other people, and doing this and talking with you, seeing you, like I said, is very stimulating for me.
It is. This is my therapy. Okay, this is what I use as therapy, because this gets me going. Okay, I've said this to you, Steve, and I mean it. Is that this gets me going. This helps me because it lets me stay focused on what's important. Okay, that's what I love doing what I do, and that's why I have so much enthusiasm and so much excitement and passion, because it helps me stay focused on what is good, and what makes me feel good is doing this and spreading awareness and helping people. And if that helps me and that makes me feel good, then if we can help somebody else, in that forum, and they're able to talk, and they're able to express themselves, then I think that's great. I like that. I'm all over it.
Yeah, we should definitely think about
Yeah,
that.
for
I want to
sure.
think about it when I get off here. It's not no boot camp 101. It will be totally different from the boot camp 101. It'll be where we could have a group, and it's just for the show, and the show could be on different topics like anxiety or
Hmm.
depression, and how are
Yeah.
you dealing with it. And people want to watch it, come on, but that would be
Mhm.
the discussion or the topic, and maybe we can find uh uh quote professionals that we can have that can also facilitate a subject, and
Mhm.
how one could move through a uh, uh, a issue that they may be dealing with, like I say, like anxiety, hopelessness, fearless, depression, whatever the case may
Whatever
be.
it might be. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
in this group, and then if they feel like they want to talk, uh, they don't have to. Oh, thank you, Sean. Please share this.
Yeah.
We're on
There it is,
Facebook
man.
as well.
Thanks
Thank you
for
for watching the
Yeah.
YouTube
Thanks for subscribing
Urban
to our YouTube
Outreach
channel.
Media. But Jared, it would be a group where it's not public, but it's a private group, right?
Mhm.
And if you want to share, you can share. It's just like, I don't know if you ever been to an NA or an AA meeting, but I've participated. And basically, you go to the meeting, right? And you listen. Especially if you knew, you listen. If you got something you want to share, you share it. If you don't want to share, you don't have to. But
Right.
you had the support of the rest of the members of that group. If you're going through something, this could be something where and it also has to, people, if they want to share, they want to share. If not, but it has to be rules set up almost like that, like anonymity. Oh, I heard, you can't be going, find out, like if somebody's sharing something and they run outside of that group and share it in another group, and we hear that, it'd be something like you automatically banned, because that's
Yeah.
the ultimate no is breaking
I
anonymity.
gotcha.
Anonymity.
Right. Yeah, because you've got to form some sort of an environment where they feel comfortable
Trust.
talking. Yeah, exactly.
Trust,
Yeah.
cohesiveness,
Mhm.
comfortable to share. So
Mhm.
this is something that I definitely want to work on. A format where people could come on just like this, like Willie Blackwell came on.
Yeah.
We talk. We can have up to 6 people on here.
On this. Yeah. All right.
And
I'm
then
all over that.
other people could be participating in the topic, and then if they want to come on, we send you the information how we ever set that up. Jared can send you the link. We bring you on, remove the next person, come on, tell us what's going on, how you feel, what your thoughts, and it's like almost like a open discussion, red tabletop that Jada Pickett does on
Right.
on Facebook or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
But it'll be our own in the group.
Yeah. Put our little spin on it. I like it. All right, comment.
Yeah.
I want to see comments about whether you like what we're putting down right here. If you're feeling it, and you like it like I like it, and you want to comment, please do that. Okay,
Yeah, we can have a date and time for it.
Yeah.
The meeting is at like Friday night at 6:00 or Saturday at 7. We're going to be discussing depression or loneliness or whatever the
the
discussion may be.
isolation because of quarantine, or whatever You know, there's so many different layers that we could start to unfold, you know, like an onion, because there's so many different things, so many different forms of loneliness, so many different forms of anxiety that we can talk about because of what's happening right now. And every single one of those feelings every single one of them is valid because of what's happening and how they feel themselves. And wouldn't it be great if they could, feel comfortable to express themselves and let it out? Because until we learn as a society to talk, and admit that we're depressed and admit that we're down, and that would be a much better society if we could do that without fear of being ridiculed or how someone may look at us a little differently because he's he may not be, he's had dark thoughts. If we start to think that we can talk about how we feel without being, without someone looking at us differently, and we feel more comfortable, we're going to be a lot stronger as a society. And if we can create that environment or that cohesiveness that you're talking about, an environment of trust, and then we can make people feel comfortable, I think that's just a really great team activity.
Absolutely. And like they say, when you come in, welcome, keep coming back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you can't do it alone, especially during this time.
Nope. I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. None of us can do it alone. We can do this together, though.
Absolutely. All right, man. So
all right,
I'm going to definitely
brother.
be working on that. Once I get off of here, I'm going to start formulating something.
All right, man. I'm all over that like cheese on a mousetrap. Thanks, man. I like that.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on Warriors Quest 2.0, Jared. Talk to you soon.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
All right. God bless you. God bless everyone. Stay safe.
Stay safe. All right, everybody. Whoa. Hey, thanks, everybody, for coming and listening tonight. Man, every opportunity I have to represent anybody in the kidney disease community is a privilege. I'm excited to do that. I love you all. I want to be able to help everybody I can. I want every one of you to be safe. I want everybody to know that there's hope, that there is encouragement. Please continue to have hope. Continue to pray. Believe in a God. Continue to have your faith. All right. God bless you all. I'm out. Is there another outro? I think there is. Hold on. Where is it? Where did it go? Oh, there it is.